Who do you think is going to win the Super Bowl this year? Do you think of your city's team? At the beginning of each football season, you always see those maps that show what the majority of people in each state thinks. It's pretty common for people to think that the team of their home state, or one nearby, will win it all. A lot of people base their opinions on wishful thinking. They usually say that their local team will win just because they want them to win, not because they did any detailed comparison of all the teams before they arrived at that conclusion. There's nothing wrong with hoping your favorite team or player performs well, but don't let wishful thinking cloud your judgment when you're making your fantasy football picks. One part of being rational is seeing the world more accurately. This means being realistic about your players' chances to help you earn points. For instance, you may jump at the chance to start one of your hometown heroes who you've liked for years, but if the stats show that his performance has gradually been declining, think again about whether he'll help you out. In another example, you can probably count on the superstar of the moment to perform well on the field. But if he's facing an easy opponent, he might be benched in the second half, so he rests up for a bigger challenge. So do you really think he's going to score 5 touchdowns this week? So before you rush to start your long-term favorites and the current standouts, hold up and do what's called a premortem. Premortem literally means before death. It means that before you act on a prediction, you imagine a version of the future. You've already gone through with it, and it turned out to be completely wrong. Your idea is dead. Then you work backwards and ask yourself, what would have been the likely cause of this failure? So you can make changes before you make your final decision. The premortem is a tip that comes from the business world, but you can also use it to think about what would have realistically gone wrong with your fantasy lineup before you set it. Then, try to sub in players who you think would have better chances to earn points for you. So, in fantasy, make your choices based on what's realistic to happen, not what you wish would happen. And do a premortem for your lineup by answering the question, how would this have gone wrong? And sure, continue to hope your favorite players perform well enough to bring home a ring for your favorite team. But when it comes to fantasy, be realistic.